Welcome to the Farming Without the Bank podcast, the show with a no BS approach to money, hosted by a farm strategy expert and authorized IBC practitioner. Join us as we get real and expose the flaws of traditional financial institutions in order to help farmers take control of their finances, create peace of mind, grow their wealth, and leave a legacy. Now, here's your host, Mary Jo Ehrman.
Hello, and welcome back to the podcast. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. There are a lot of you that I am talking to that are listening from episode 1. Congratulations on catching up. I want to talk today about second to die or last to die policies. I don't see these a whole lot. However, when I see them, I do not understand I understand them. I have never seen the purpose of them. And I think this deserves its own podcast just because in estate planning, especially in the business and farming world, there are so many of these. And that is what attorneys use. No idea why, because they just don't make sense to me. So, what a second to die or last to die, the name is interchangeable. It's the same type of policy. What that means is that 2 people are insured on that policy and only one person it will pay out on. And so let's say that John and Susie are a married couple and we want insurance for estate planning so that when the last person passes, we have the money to leave to the kids. We have the money from typically, let's say that I was buying a policy on John and Susie. I have the money when John and Susie pass away that I can buy out my siblings or I can buy out business partners or whatever that might be. Now, here is my thing with that. Is it only pays upon one person's passing. So a lot of people misunderstand these policies and they think it's going to pay when both John and Susie pass. No. We're insuring 2 people with one death benefit. The death benefit doesn't get split in half when the first person dies. When the first person dies, there is no death benefit. So in my little brain, I cannot figure out the point of this. Because let's say that we are buying out a business or a farm operation. When John passes, so let's say that Susie is not part of the business or she's not active on the farm. So when John passes, we would either need the money to buy Susie out of the business or the farm, or we would need the money to take over the operating of the business or the farm, right? And so we would like the money when John passes. However, in most cases, what happens is John passes first, Susie passes second. So wouldn't we want a policy just on John if he's going to pass first? Now, if the business or the farm go to Susie, this is the logic. They say, well, the business or the farm is going to go to Susie. And then you're not going to need the money until Susie dies. Well, then why don't we just buy a policy on Susie? And if we don't need the money until Susie dies, or let's say that we have a policy on John, only John, we don't have this second to die stuff. So now we have a policy just on John, but Susie lives, right? But we don't get anything till Susie passes. Well, then we have the money early. And I guess we can start building on the business. We can start buying her out if she decides to do that. We can go do whatever we want. We can sit on the money. We can put it into another policy. We could do stuff with the money to make more money until Susie passes. But now we have nothing. And so we're hoping in a second to die that we don't need anything when the first person dies. But here's my thing. Then why are we paying insurance for two people, but we're only going to get paid out on one person? So let's say that John and Susie are not the same health. Let's say that Susie is healthy and John is, a tobacco user. So now we're going to pay more for Susie's insurance because they're going to take the average of the two. They're going to average their health together. Where Susie could have been preferred health, which is the best rating you can get. Now John drags her down. So if John dies first, now we're paying a premium on Susie that's still subject to John's health while he was alive. So what happens if Susie lives another 15, 20 years? Now we're overpaying for premium for 15, 20 years. It does not make absolutely any sense to me. I have sat down and thought about this extensively. Like, when would I do a second to die policy? When would that make sense? It only makes sense in the aspect that we feel good. We feel good about the fact that we have both people insured. Well, we shouldn't feel good about the fact that we're only getting paid on one person. As an attorney doing estate planning, why does that even make sense? Why don't we just buy insurance on either one of them or both of them so we get paid out twice? Yes, it's going to cost more premium. That is one of the things, is they'll say, well, the premium is cheaper. Well, what the heck is the difference? If I would just buy it on one person, what is the difference? I only have one premium then. So I'm insuring two people and it costs me less, so it feels good. Like, that does not compute in my brain why we would do that. So as we're estate planning to pass off the farm, to pass off a business, please, for the love of Pete, just do two policies or just pick one person and do one person. Because if it's going to go to mom, if everything's going to go to mom, and then we have to wait for mom to die to get the policy, okay, we don't know who's going to die first. So does it matter if the person we have insured is going to die before the other person? No, we just have our money sooner. And here's the thing. A lot of times the spouse thinks they have insurance on the other spouse. So if John dies, Susie comes in and says, what do you mean I don't have any death benefit? We had this policy on him. No, Susie, you had a second to die. It doesn't get paid out until you die. So now what is Susie supposed to live on? Because we had no death benefit on John. So if she's thinking, and if they were thinking together that, oh, we have death benefit on each one of us, that's great. There's burial expenses, yada, yada, yada. We are fantastic. No, that is not the case. The living spouse gets zero, zilcho, nothing. And we have paid premium on that. And they feel shorted, but nobody explains it. So if we are, and people ask me, well, Mary Jo, if I'm going to buy a policy on my parents, should I do a second to die? No, just pick one. Just pick a person. Okay. If we don't pick the right person that's going to die last, then we have the money earlier. Here's the thing. If you get the money earlier, you just can't spend it and go spend it like you won the lottery, right? You have to be smart about it. But that doesn't mean we don't have an opportunity. Because here's the thing. If we have a policy on dad and dad dies first, mom may say, you know what? I'm done with this business. I'm done with the farm. I want to move to town. Or you can cash rent everything from me, but you just take over all the expenses of everything. If mom dies first and dad continues the business or continues to farm, fantastic. Then we have the money. We can maybe slowly take the transition off of dad. Maybe dad will need help financially and we can lend him the money. Maybe we can start buying our own equipment and alleviate some of dad's stress financially. There's a million ways that's going to work if we have the other person insured that is the wrong person to die last. But why are you overpaying for insurance? Why are you only insuring one person? Why is the person that has a second to die waiting until they die and they get nothing from the first person's passing? So I've heard about that a lot in the estate planning world. So there is my 2 cents on second to die policies. If you have questions, comments, concerns, let me know. If you are a client, get ready for San Antonio. It is a client only. If you are not a client, I am sorry, but you are not able to come. It is a client only think tank. We are all going to get together in San Antonio, January, I believe it's the 18th and 19th. I know, I should know these things, you guys. I should, but I don't. I do know it's the 18th, 19th-ish, whatever that Thursday, Friday is in January. We will be in San Antonio. We have a hotel that is on the Riverwalk or Boardwalk or whatever you call it. I've not been down there. But all my Texas people should be happy as a lark because they don't have to fly anywhere. They can all drive in. But we are going to be there doing a 2-day, just amazing. We're going to have people from home office hopefully visit. We will have other speakers. We will be talking about farming and real estate and financial, like investment stuff. It's going to be awesome. So be on the lookout for those tickets to go on sale, hopefully shortly, once we kind of figure out what the costs are and all that kind of stuff. Y'all don't plan anyway. Y'all, if I put something online for you guys to buy tickets, you wait till the last minute anyway. So, if you're going to come, just put it on your calendar. And then when tickets go on sale, you know that you're coming. Okay. I'll make sure for those of you flying in, because I've heard a lot of you are coming. We are also trying to get a tour of one of the ranches down there. It is the King Ranch. I had to think of the Ford vehicle. That's how I remember what it is. I believe it is the King Ranch we are trying to get a tour of. That is going to be super exciting. And we may do a boat cruise. I'm not sure yet, but it'll be a fun time. So mark your calendars. If you are going to be in the Circle, Montana area, I will be there speaking for their stuff. And that is next month, October. So it is the 12th at the Ag Summit and Trade Show in Circle, Montana on the 12th. So if you are in the Montana area and you want to see me, stop by, grab your ticket. I'm assuming they have tickets. Look up the Ag Summit and Trade Show. Egg. I say it wrong. I have that little Midwestern accent. Egg. It's not egg. It's not like chicken eggs. It's like egg. All right, guys. Let me know if you need anything. Email me. Questions, comments, concerns, podcast topics. I will take them all. Mary Jo at withoutthebank.com. If you've not gotten either of the books, go to farmingwithoutthebank.com or withoutthebank.com. Grab your book. Grab one of my books, both of my books, and add Nelson's in there and get the whole bundle of goodness. And then we can visit. All right, you guys, have a fantastic rest of your day.
Thanks for listening to the Farming Without the Bank podcast. We hope today's episode has inspired you to take control of your finances in new ways. Don't forget to check out our website, farmingwithoutthebank.com, and engage with us on our Facebook page, Farming Without the Bank. Join us next week as we smash more financial myths and empower you to accomplish your financial goals.